about what my ABS has been like for me recently. I've actually had some problems with both my hand and my foot, so I thought I'd just talk about them and kind of update you on what my life has been like. On this channel, I really want to spread positivity because I think it is so important, but unfortunately, things aren't positive all the time, and I also want to show this channel the reality of what life is like living with the conditions that I have. And unfortunately, recently my conditions haven't been coping too well, so I thought I would just show you the reality of what it is like for me at the minute living with amniotic band syndrome. The last video I made about my amniotic band syndrome was, I think, October last year, and since then, I think it was literally just a month after, I started having problems with my foot. And that video was about my foot, and ironically, in that video I mentioned that one of my toes hasn't bothered me at all, ever. And a month later, when I started having problems with my foot, that was the toe that was causing all the trouble. So I'm kind of just going to tell you a bit about what happened and how I'm dealing with it now. So in November last year, which was a month after I posted the video talking about my amniotic band syndrome on my foot, one of my toes started to hurt, and I didn't really think much of it because I sometimes do get pain, so I just thought I will wait it out a bit, see, if it gets better, because usually it does. So I did, I just left it, and after a few days I realised, okay, this isn't getting better, in fact it's actually just getting worse. So my mum decided to take me to the hospital because she thought this just isn't right. That day as well, the toe that was sore, it was like bright red, and it hurt to walk on, it hurt to touch. However, all of my other toes were going like a purpley blue colour, so not very good. And they had done that from time to time, but this was the worst that I had seen it. So as I said, my mum decided to take me to the hospital, and at the hospital, one of the doctors in A&E took a look at my foot, and she seemed worried, but she didn't really know what to do because she wasn't really specialised for that problem. So she went and got a plastic surgeon to come and have a look at it. But as I waited for the plastic surgeon, because it took quite a while, I actually had an ultrasound scan done. So that kind of just checked the veins in my leg, just to check that there wasn't a problem with the veins, like with and taking blood to my foot and things. I mean, thankfully that came back clear. So like all the blood vessels in my leg and everything, they're working just as they should be. But the plastic surgeon, when he came to look at my foot, he was still pretty concerned, because he pressed one of the toes, and it's supposed to take, like, literally, it's supposed to be really quick for the colour to come back once you pressed it, but I think it took about 5 seconds, which is too long. So he said that I would probably need to be seen by a vascular surgeon who works with like blood and the heart and things like that. So I obviously had to wait for that. So I was waiting and waiting for so long. We'd been at the hospital hours, and they said that the vascular surgeon wasn't able to come to the children's hospital, and there wasn't one at the children's hospital. So I ended up going to another hospital 10 minutes away. I couldn't go the next day. They said, no, you need to go like now. So I went, and I waited a lot longer there. And then eventually the vascular surgeon came, took a look at my foot, and he just said that really he didn't think there was anything, he wasn't too worried about blood supply or anything like that. He actually thought that I had cellulitis, which is an infection. So he said that I should go home, have some antibiotics and stuff, and just see if it clears up and come back in a few days. So I had those antibiotics for a few days, and then I went back. This was just before my 16th birthday. I went back, and he said that actually I don't think it is cellulitis. So I had to stop the antibiotics, and he said that he thinks I have Raynaud's disease. Now, I'll explain what it is because I'm not sure if people really know what it is. But basically, when the temperature is hot, the blood vessels widen, and a lot of blood gets through. So my hands and my toes will probably look red. But then when the temperature drops and it gets cold, the blood vessels start to go a little bit thinner, and not much blood can get through. So my hands and feet go cold instead, and like what happened with my foot, it went like a purpley blue. However, because my foot went severely, like it went quite blue, they did want to just do a little check, a blood test, just to make sure that it wasn't anything too serious that was causing it. So I had the blood test done, and whilst I waited for the blood tests, for some reason my toe started to literally, it had a blister on it, but it was almost like the whole toe had turned into a blister. It was huge, and I didn't really think anything of it because I thought, well, I'm going back for the results for the blood test. And then in the end, no one knows why that happened. But yeah, so when I went back for the results, they said that I had a very slightly high red blood cell count, and it wasn't anything that was too much to worry about. But the vascular surgeon that I was seeing, he was a bit like, he said that it wasn't really his thing to deal with. He thinks that all the big blood vessels are fine, but there could possibly be a problem with the smaller blood vessels. So he said that he needed to refer me to a hematologist. So I have to go and see someone else, but I can't go and see them right now because of COVID-19. So this is kind of like where we're up to. This has all been going on since, as I said, November last year, all these appointments and things. But yeah, I'm currently at the stage now where I'm waiting to go see a hematologist. But I won't be able to go and do that obviously until we're allowed to get back into things after the coronavirus. At the minute, my foot's not actually that bad, probably because it's summer, but I haven't had it, it's not gone blue that much at all. It's probably only done it once in the last few weeks. And so it is looking a lot better, but as I said, it was winter when that happened, and the condition does tend to be worse in the winter. But I'm still going to see the haematologist as soon as I can. And also, at the minute, the pain I'm getting isn't in that other toe. The toe that had the blister and everything seems to be fine. The pain is actually coming from my big toe that's not very big. And this is the only way I can describe it to people. It is a bit strange. But it feels like my toe is trying to grow out of the skin. I don't know, it's just really weird. And the skin on the top's really dry as well, which probably doesn't help. But that's kind of what it feels like, and it's actually quite painful. It also kind of feels like it with this finger as well, like it's just trying to grow through the skin. That's the only way I can describe it, really. So as well as everything going on with my foot the past few months, I've also, unfortunately, experienced pain in my hand as well. So, basically, this thumb is kind of the problem at the minute. They all kind of get pain every now and then, but this thumb is the biggest problem at the minute. So here is obviously supposed to be a joint, but it only moves there. So I'm thinking the reason that I'm getting pain here is because it doesn't move there. Anyway, so it hurts like all here, like on this muscle part. And it also it just goes down to my wrist sometimes as well, and I get pins and needles. And it's just like when I hold things, I can't hold them for too long, and I can't really hold heavy things because it just hurts and it feels like whatever I'm holding, I'm about to drop. I also play the flute, and that has been a struggle, noticeably more over these past few weeks, but more so over these past few days. I can't pick it up because it will hurt, and that is kind of annoying because I want to. And baking and knitting and all these things that I like to do, it is hard because it's quite painful to do it. So I spoke to a doctor about it, and they referred me to see a plastic surgeon. And I was supposed to be seeing them, I think, a week or two ago, but obviously due to the coronavirus, I wasn't able to go to the hospital, so I had a phone call appointment. And obviously it's really hard for them to think about what's actually going on with my hand when they can't see it. All I can do is explain it, and as you've probably noticed, I'm not very good at explaining what things feel like. So with this, all I said was that I've got pain in my thumb, like underneath where the muscle is, I guess, and it goes down to my wrist, and I get pins and needles and stuff. But that's all I could really say. And I tried to mention what I just said about the joint, but it's hard to explain to her. So anyway, she said that it's possible that I might benefit from an injection, in the muscle, but she doesn't know exactly what the circumstances are until she can see it. So in a couple of months' time, when I'm allowed to, I need to go into the hospital and get an x-ray. And she did say that, I mean, this is definitely not certain because she hasn't even been able to see it, but she did say if the injection didn't help, then unfortunately surgery might have to happen. But that was obviously all she could say over the phone. That could all be wrong when she sees it, so who knows. So in the meantime, I've been trying to deal with it at home, just trying to keep moving it around and try not to do things that are going to make it hurt more, for instance, like playing my flute. But also, I read online that one of these might help. So this is just like a little, what would you call it? Like a support band thing. However, it said like to wear it at night, and the plastic surgeon even recommended just wearing this. But this has actually done more harm than good. It caused, like, it was really sore here and like around here, like the skin. So obviously I don't want to create more problems by wearing this. Plus, I'm not really sure how much it helped anyway. But yeah, that's how I've been trying to deal with it at home by myself. As I said, I like to be positive on here. I don't like to moan. But I did think that it was worth me just showing you the realities of living with the conditions that I live with. And yeah, I thought people might like to see how I'm getting on with things. And I will keep you updated, when things, when I get told what's actually going to happen with things after the coronavirus and everything, then I will let you know. But for now, you know as much as me now, so hopefully I will start to get answers and I will start to know what the hospital can do for me. But yeah, I guess that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you didn't find it too boring, like me moaning, but I did think that it could be said. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!